Saturday morning, 8 a.m., 30 minutes early, working at the convention center today. Picked up this job from a production company based in Orange County, California, but not because of my being based there for 22 years. This one is a YouTube viewer, so appreciate the booking. It's gonna be a little bit different, stepping a little outside my regular routine on this one, and I was up for the challenge. Always nice having a job that's like 20 minutes. I think it takes me 18 minutes to get here. No traffic. Yeah, under 20 minutes. Actually, I own a house. My rental house is right over there, other side of the Alamo Dome. And I need to go install a new front door with Beck over there, which if I weren't working today, that's what we would be doing. Maybe I'll vlog about that in the coming week. So just a few items going in for this one. I started this YouTube channel originally talking about small business and operating as a freelancer in the media space. Really was a hobby for me, and my intention is and continues to be to sort of give back to the community, train up the next generation, like several of my mentors did for me when I was starting out, and continue to this day, like Michael Loftus, who you saw on the Antarctica trip, one of the first cinematographers I met at 21, 22 years old in Los Angeles. We've kept in touch all these years. He continues to throw me work. BSP Live Media, BrianSheehy.com. Little plug to your business, Brian. Thanks again for the booking. When we were out on the location, we got chatting about production. And Brian does specialty right now is live streaming, as well as just corporate video production, corporate comms. I think I loaded the page too many times and now Vimeo's mad at me. Brian asked me if I knew Steve Banta, based in Orange County. And I said, yeah, I've worked on several projects in years past with Steve. He's got a live switch outside broadcast style production van, smaller footprint, not a big like Expando trailer. He's running from like looks like now he's got a cube truck. And maybe multiple. Years ago, I think the last project I worked on was a live stream for a beauty company, different client than in this vlog. And we were working out of just a cargo van that was all racked out and built as a control room. And we did a job, I'm trying to remember now. It was an ocean view at a park in Laguna Beach with sort of the coast in the background, and our talent foreground, multicam live switch. And also worked on some credit union commercials and some other things. But up in LA, the botanical gardens, I think we worked on a couple botanical garden projects. I don't remember who the client was. That was the location. But at any rate, I met Banta through a mutual friend, Jeff Granberry, close friend of mine, like my older brother in business. We shared an office together for many years in Costa Mesa. Jeff passed away suddenly at age 50. I was down on the border when I got that phone call from Julie, his wife, and it was so shocking. And I miss him every week. I for years and years, anytime I'd have a tech problem or a business issue, I'd reach out to Jeff, like, how would you handle this? Because it seems like we have very similar career paths. He was a couple of years ahead of me, including he had a production company with a couple of business partners with some big high dollar client base. I did a very similar path with partners at a production company, and Jeff exited to go out and just focus on being a photographer and a DP and producing his own work. And I sort of pursued a similar path of exiting, smaller income potential, but lower stress and sort of just happier lifestyle, being out there and shooting. So Jeff, think about you all the time. And I still instinctually will reach for my phone to text. And when I'm in a panic on a shoot with a tech issue, it's still the first person in my head is Jeff. How Jeff would have an answer. How do I fix it, Jeff? In Granberry's spare time, he was out at Catalina Island with his family. Spent his childhood out there too. I got introduced to Catalina Island working on an ad campaign for the Island Company through Lion Studios in Newport Beach when Beck was young, maybe 5. And I spent a week out there shooting scenics, and prompted me to stop stalling, and I bought a boat. And we spent much of Beck's childhood until we moved to Texas. Every weekend or every other weekend, we were out there on a mooring or at anchor, Catalina Island, and got to spend a lot of quality time with Jeff and his family out there. And I miss it so much. So Julie's switched over Jeff's website, and he's got all of Jeff's pastime photos from being out at the island. There's more than just Avalon here. Kind of, if you're not familiar with Catalina, Avalon is like where the cruise ship stops, and that's the tourist destination, which all these photos are Avalon. But if you're a boater and a local, you're spending your time out on the west end of the island, known as the Isthmus, which 2 harbors. This is the Isthmus, which is the main cove, and then you've got this is Cat Harbor on the backside. Gosh, great photos, Jeff. Man, I miss this place so much. I'm looking forward to someday being able to get back out there. So anyway, back to the job at hand. One frustration with this onstage cart is the smart wheels are foam filled, and if you don't have a bunch of weight on them, they do that like chatter back and forth thing. They're not doing it right now, of course, but I should have put the sandbags over those wheels. Little impromptu control room inside storage area in the booth. That's Paul Meredith. First time working with Paul. He's based in San Diego. Sound was his primary responsibility, but he was also handling some of the switching and signal routing with the LiveU. So basically I was going from the gimbal wireless transmitter over to the control room in the booth. And from there, it went into a ATEM switcher, out of the ATEM into a LiveU Solo Pro, which I've got a shot of it in a moment. Couldn't use any of the nat sound because there was music playing the whole time, copyrighted music. Brian brought this Steadicam style gimbal vest, first time I've used it, and worked great because I was up for a little over an hour holding a shot, walking around the booth. We basically would walk to a new section, and the host would talk and spontaneously interview different people. So it'd be a brief walk and then hold a shot for several minutes, walk to the next thing. So having that Steadicam style vest that took all of the weight, and I could rest my right hand and elbow and forearm on the stabilizing arm, and then the left side, I guess I just kept it against my side. I didn't have any kind of fatigue other than my ribs were getting a little sore towards the end just from the way the vest was chafing me. I think the solution there is I got to just wear like a thicker shirt than the little t-shirt I had on, but no complaints. It was fairly minor. I mean, had I done this without a vest, I don't know if I would have made it through the whole thing running a gimbal. I could have done it on my shoulder, but then it would have been shaky cam. We had like 40 or 50,000 views on Twitch over the duration of the live feed, not including replays. So huge audience for this type of stuff. This is my first exposure to like a niche vertical of live stream. You know, most of my experience is in just traditional cable TV live feeds like you've seen in some of my other vlog posts. And I know, and why I started putting the time in over at the MMA gym doing the live streams there, is I got to get a little more engaged on the streaming side. And I do wish that my LiveU 300, you know, the broadcast unit designed to send point to point to a LiveU decoder at a TV station. And then they have their LiveU streaming product, which you'll see here. This is with 4 external modems. It looks very similar to the LiveU 300. It's probably the same hardware on the inside. It just doesn't have internal SIM cards and modems. Everything's external, but same I/O, same labeling, probably the same box at like 1/5 or 1/6 the cost. But unfortunately, they keep the 2 product lines firewalled. I have not found an easy or elegant way to just use my 300 for a web style live stream where I'm republishing on Twitch or YouTube. I can lease a virtual LiveU broadcast receiver at LiveU and then have whatever it's called, like a LiveU streaming cloud account to go across, but it's pretty expensive. I'm thinking it would actually be more cost effective for me to buy a second LiveU unit specifically for streaming, and maybe I can use my LiveU modems and data and hop them between the two, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm also thinking maybe I should reach out to LiveU and see if one of their reps would be interested in having a little discussion with me on my vlog here, because I get more direct contacts off of this vlog regarding LiveU questions than I do any other topic, as well as in the comments field. But specifically, I've had In the last 2 weeks, I've had 2 hour-plus long conversations on the phone with other working pros, very similar to what I do, that have either a specific job that requires a LiveU, or they're considering buying or leasing LiveU equipment. So I don't know. Shoot, maybe I should become a reseller and start selling that hardware. Not that I want another plate to spin, but here we are. Okay, so I had 2 live shows happening at the same time. I was cam opping at the convention center, and in parallel to that, the gym had a Jiu-Jitsu Kids tournament live streaming. So Ice and Beck were the 2 cam ops, one EX3, one FX30, and I have a second EX3, which I have since this event pulled out of storage and color matched. So going forward, we'll have 2 EX3s with zoom lenses and operators to cover the matches, and then the FX30 can be repurposed to shoot the commentators. At present, the commentator camera on this show was Justin's iPhone over a USB webcam link directly into OBS. So I've got, 2 cameras going into the switcher, but then the iPhone goes into OBS. So Justin has to switch. Justin's running the encoding laptop and managing the chat and graphics via OBS, and someone else runs the switcher. Because I couldn't be there on this event, Justin was running the switcher and the laptop. I think I can shoot the whole day on the 24 to 70.
Where are the cards?
Cards are in the card case, in the cover. There's like a library case in there somewhere. Covering for another DP. This was a event at a private club and housing community. Beautiful, like barbecue outdoor event, and just did the whole thing. FX3, some gimbal, some handheld. The shooter that covered this the previous year, I don't know who it was. I only saw the edit, and in retrospect, credit to them, they did a better job than I think I did on this one. I think that previous year, whoever shot it had more still photography experience than I do, because their shots and interaction with the people attending are more like they're staging for camera and smiling to camera. They're almost like directed scenes, where I did more candid and documentarian style coverage of the event. And in retrospect, I wish I had tried to get people a little more connected to my lens. I did follow around the still photographer a few times and just, sniped off video versions of the posed still photos. But if I did it again, I would approach it a little bit differently. All right, check it out. So that's camera 2. So we bring up camera 2 on the preview bus. And then take 2. 2's live. And then here's camera 1. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 2. Take 2. And then Beck's getting the 3rd. I have 3 of them. Beck's getting number 3 config. So if we patch a cam to the commentator through the switcher, it can be 3. Another acquisition for Fight Night, 3 Hollyland headsets. These are the base model, not the noise canceling variety. Hopefully they're okay. Probably should have bought 4 headsets. I only need 3 right now, 2 cam ops and a director, but we may grow at some point. I can always add another headset later. I blew it about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Hollyland had contacted me, and they offered to send me a bunch of, I think 4 headsets in exchange for doing a review on my vlog. I was on the road traveling and just kind of left the email marked as unread, and then I remembered like a month later when I was home, and I couldn't find the email from Hollyland. So shoot, I missed out. I could have gotten these in exchange for a review. Instead, I paid the going rate for them from B&H.